guest, Tommy Talau from the Manly Seagulls. Thanks for joining us, Tommy.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about that, mate, straight off the bat. Your versatility and the versatility of being an outside back in this day and age. I always say that I think Penrith have been the blueprint in the last 3 or 4 years. You've got to be able to play multiple positions, and you've found yourself playing wing this year, playing in the centres, left and right. Is it something that you've been working on more so recently, or is it something that you've always had in your game?
Yeah, I felt like coming through, I've played a fair bit of different positions. I found myself at centre at the Tigers, and in a few games I was playing wing. So, we've got some quality backline. We've got a quality backline here at Manly, and I'm sort of just happy to help out where I can.
Did you play a bit of six in the Rabbitohs game as well?
Yeah, I played a little bit of six in my juniors.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which is probably 5-6 years ago. So yeah, when they asked me to chuck on the six and play there, it was a bit of a shock and probably not the way we wanted to play, but I'll tick that off the bucket list.
Yeah, that's a nice one in first grade. And I was watching the Roosters Parramatta, and even your game actually, the torrential rain. The thing I remember from that game, there were awful conditions to be playing 5'8", weren't they? It was a low scoring game.
I would have been rattled for sure.
Bailey, you got anything for Tommy?
Yeah, sup, Tommy, bro. I just wanted to ask you, mate. Thanks for reaching out. Also, after my ACL injury, I was telling Scope you reached out to me. Obviously, you've been through it all yourself. You've had, how many knees have you done?
Oh, I've done one, but it was like a lengthy one.
Yeah, I remember that. I just wanted to touch on, like, obviously your form this year, mate. You've been unreal for Manly there, playing on the edge. I just wanted to talk about, from your perspective, how tough it was coming back from those injuries, and how long did it sort of take you to find your groove? Just for the listeners, how hard is it to come back from a knee injury, and how quickly did you find your groove?
Yeah, sweet. Thanks for that, bro. I tore my ACL and had like a bit of bone fractures as well, and like a hole in my bone, in my leg. But yeah, it was pretty tough. I think usually after ACLs, if it's just ACL, you can sort of walk after surgery, but I couldn't sort of put weight on it for 8 to 11 weeks. So I was sort of on the back foot from the get-go. And it's an ugly injury. I think I ran into Tedesco earlier, my injury, and he just told me to stay on top of my rehab, which I was sort of fangirling Tedesco. So I sort of just stayed on top of my rehab and sort of did what I could. But it was a very slow injury, and I feel like I had a very good network. Like my family and my friends were very close with me at that time, so sort of helped me out a lot. But yeah, it took me like 500 and I think it was like 560 days or something. To come back. So it was a pretty big stint off. And then coming back from it, it's sort of different. But I think if you sort of have your family and friends close to you, and sort of stay in contact with them, you'll be sweet, bro. I felt like that got me back into the right headspace, sort of come back and play at that level A.
Yeah, you're in really good form this year, Tommy, and you've really fit in well with what I was going to say. Like I'm still there. What you're doing at Manly. I'm a Manly great, you know that, Tommy. I'm sure they speak about me all the time. But I want to speak specifically about you and Brooksy, mate. You went through some really tough times there at the Tigers. It looks like, touch wood, that you're on your way to a final series. Talk about your transition, and then talk to us a little bit about your mate just on the inside of you as well, who is having arguably his best season in a very long time, Luke Brooks.
Yeah, for sure. For me personally, like when Manly got offered to me to come across and jump on board, I was a bit nervous just because I was at Tigers the whole time, and I felt like I needed a fresh start. And coming to the club, it's been unreal straight from the get-go at pre-season, being around the likes of Turbo and Ches and that, it was unreal, and it sort of just gave me a little bit of confidence, especially in preseason, getting connected with those boys and like learning a lot from them. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it'd be the same as for Brooksy. Like he's been killing it, and everyone knew he's a fucking gun of a player, and I feel like he's come out of his shell a bit and playing fucking eyes up footy and playing to his strengths, which is sort of what we want from him as well. And it's fucking good to see. He's freaking killing it here at Manly, and I'm sure he'll be excited for next week.
Just a little quick one, little Tommy. We've got a few little curly ones there, mate. This is SEN radio. a little bit more PG on here, brother. That's all right. You're all right. You're all right. You're all right. You're okay, brother. You're okay.
Sorry.
You're all right. I'm just giving you a little heads up now, so because I've got a number of questions for you. Just giving you a little heads up so we can get through this.
Sorry about that.
With no more dramas. That's okay, mate. One thing I notice in really good teams, mate, is my co-host at Levels Network says iron sharpens iron. You got some really good competition in the outside backs now, with Tolu Kola coming back from a knee injury. He was on the bench, and the emergence of Lehigh Hopewadi just outside of you. Tell us a little bit about the competition in the outside backs, and tell us a little bit about Lehigh, because he just doesn't look like a rookie at all.
Yeah, he's a freak, eh? I feel like he's the most relaxed kid I've ever seen play footy. He just doesn't care. He'll try whatever. He's a bit quiet, but honestly, he's a freak. I feel like he just plays to what he sees and without a care in the world, which is obviously why he's killing it, and it works so well for him. But yeah, with Tolu coming back, it strengthens our side so much. But he's one of the fastest centres and so hard to defend. Obviously, I've had to defend him at training, and he's up there for one of the best attacking centres I think I've ever versed. So, I feel like it's just very competitive here at Manly, and I feel like it's making us better as a team and as an outside back collective.
Nice, bro. I just wanted to ask you, Tommy, about Tommy Turbo. Obviously, you touched on him before, joining Manly. Someone like him's done it all in the game. What sort of things has he taught you, and how important is he to your back five? Yeah,
I feel like just it all starts at training, like the way Turbo plays on the weekend, and everyone gets to see the skillful hands and everything that he does in the game. He does it at training, and I feel like just detail on in attack and defense as an edge, he's very impactful for me as well. But yeah, just starting in preseason, I was at one club and sort of learning, because he's obviously played centre in Origin as well, so he's very intelligent footy player, Tommy. So yeah, in attack and defence, he's been a big voice for us outside backs, and which is why I think we're getting a lot of joy as well.
What about learning from your old man, mate? I grew up. He was one of my OGs. I loved watching him playing when I was coming through through the grades, and he had such a strong career, in particular at the Bulldogs. I hear he's coaching the SG Ball down at the Dragons at the moment. How's that going for him, and what sort of advice does he give to you, or is he given to you in the early part of your career?
Yeah, no, he's loving it. Yeah, he's down at the Dragons. He's loving his coaching at the moment. He gets to be around the first grade boys as well, which is, I think that's what he wants to be doing. But yeah, he obviously played centre as well in the first grade, and I feel like his biggest strength was defence. So anytime I sort of have anything to ask him about defensively, he always comes and tells me how it is, which is good. So I think it was a bit easy on me last night. I missed a few tackles, but just defensively, he's just someone that I get to lean on just to ask for honest advice, and he'll always give it to me straight, which is good.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. Well, we really appreciate this. Just coming off a really important game for you last night against the Warriors. Oh, actually, one quick one. We've got it coming up here. I've got a picture of Shaun Johnson with the highlights here. Knowing what, Shaunie's announcing his retirement, being a part of, the final 3 or 4 games. What was it like playing against the Warriors just last night? And it's been a frustrating season, but being a part of probably Shaunie's little farewell tour that he's got for the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm spewing. I haven't got to verse him a whole lot. But yeah, I'm such a fangirl when I see him as well. It's just ridiculous. I swear, when I was coming through school, he was my profile picture on Instagram. And, just a little kid trying to be the man. But nah, it was awesome to verse him. But he's so good. I'm surprised he's actually calling his retirement. But it was awesome to play against him. I'll still be watching his highlights as he goes on as well.
Yeah, that's so good. You know what that reminds me of? I was lucky enough to play in my his final season, Darren Lockyer's final season. Yeah. And I had, chatting to him after the game, I felt like a school kid again. Yeah. My hands were shaking as I was shaking his hand after the game, and he was like a hero, similar to what, I don't think I had him as my Facebook profile picture, but MySpace. Yeah, it might have been MySpace or Bebo. But yeah, really appreciate you coming on, Tommy. You're having a cracker season, brother. I can't wait to see you playing some finals footy and how deep Manly can go. And say hello to the boys when you get to recovery for me.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, Tommy. See you.